Broadcasting live from the Business RadioX studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for GWBC Radio's Open for Business. Now, here's your host.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of GWBC Open for Business, and this is going to be a good one. Today we have with us Rose Battle with Ultimate Model Management. Welcome, Rose.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Well, before we get too far into things, tell us about Ultimate Model Management. How you serving folks?
Well, we are a full-service talent and modeling agency. We've been around for about 14 years. We do a variety of things, including, but not limited to, training models and preparing them for the modeling industry. But we do commercials and print advertisement. We service the casting directors here in Atlanta for those commercials, and even the film industry as well.
Now, when you got into the business, was the film industry as kind of thriving as it is now?
It wasn't initially, but of course, for the last several years, Atlanta has been the hot spot for film. So it took me a few years to get something they call breakdown services. It takes it's a process of getting letters from CSA casting directors, and I was fortunate enough to be able to do that and obtain the submissions for film projects. And we've done many film projects with people like Tida Perry and George Pierre with Pierre Casting. One of our little child actresses recently landed a role on Underground Railroad and was shooting for 30-some days. So it's just exciting to be able to know that we are the agency that's allowing the talent to do the things that they love and help them build their career in acting and in modeling.
Now, maybe you can share some of the behind the scenes, like from the talent standpoint. What are some of the things that you're doing on their behalf that maybe they don't understand or fully appreciate?
Well, number one, because I am a former model and actress myself, I've been there and I've seen things that behind the scene that I needed to know, and the things that I bring to table to the talent is to make sure that they know where to go, and I make sure that they get through security clearances, and I'm the behind-the-scene person to make sure that they get everything they need from the casting director, including their fitting information, if they're going on a job for a commercial where they have to be fitted for an outfit, making sure that they, especially in the times of COVID-19, I have to make sure that they have all the valuable information that they need in terms of staying safe, and getting their COVID protocols.
Now, speaking of COVID, how has the business changed during this pandemic? There must have been less things being done, like shooting and things like that. How'd you help you help your folks through that? Well,
it's so far the film industry is starting to pick back up. Fortunately, I'm very happy to hear that and know that the talent is starting to get jobs again. But because of COVID, we're not sending the talent in like they normally would go in and audition in front of the casting directors. So to keep them safe, everyone has resorted to Zoom auditions. So they have their camera equipment set up in their home. Even when we are doing things for real families, those families gather together. They always use someone that is already living together in the same house. They're not typically, sometimes they will mix actors and real families together. If there isn't a father in the home and they need a mother and a father, they may add an actor to play that role. But because of COVID, they are typically just only booking people that are living in the same household so that they can remain safe.
Now, do you have any advice for the actors out there that are having to do some of these auditions or self-tapes on their own without being face-to-face? Is there some tricks and tips you can share to help somebody get a successful audition?
Well, there are lots of successful people and that we work with as well that have camera equipment that we know that, and we always make sure that we know that they're following the safety guidelines. That they don't have, they should either invest the equipment in their own home, or they should rely on a reliable source that can give them something that's quality. Because casting directors, they're short of time, and they want to see something with clarity. So, and that with good sound. So if they're not going to set their equipment up on their own, they need to make sure that they get with a reliable source. And we do have some resources on our website that I'm sure you'll probably share later, that of some people that we use that will be able to assist them in doing those video recordings.
Now, as a woman-owned business, you chose to be part of the Greater Women's Business Council. Can you speak to why that was important for you to go that route?
Well, I had been, initially I joined the Georgia Minority Supply Development Council. I needed to be certified with one of the certifying agencies, and a lot of great things came from that association. But Rosemary Jones, which is no longer with us, she told me a few years ago, she said, you need to join the Greater Women's Business Councils. And she really iterated the fact that I needed to join that organization. And I'm really very happy that I did, because there's nothing like the sisterhood. Women-owned businesses typically help other women-owned businesses. And it's almost like we're like a family. So when we get together and we go to networking events, we see the same business owners and we wishing them well. Our hearts are always to be there to help each other. And it's important that, and especially in these times, that women-owned businesses help other women-owned businesses. And that's not just in Atlanta, but across the country.
Now, can you share maybe some ways that they can help each other that maybe that you have found in your career?
Well, sometimes I have just found that now GWBC is actually having, Zoom meetings and networking events through Zoom. So attending those networking events, my suggestion is that even relying back to some of those business cards of people that we've met that we know that are certified members of GWBC, that we reach out and see how we can help each other. I reached out to someone recently that, owns some, she bakes great cakes and pound cakes from a recipe from her grandmother. And we reached out and we've come up with some ways that we can help each other. And right now it's all about helping each other. There's strength in numbers.
Absolutely. And I always say that with the right partners, you can do anything.
Absolutely. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Now, part of the benefits of being part of GWBC is the ability to connect to other kind of enterprise-level resources. Have you been able to take advantage of that? Yes,
I have taken advantage of so many resources through GWBC. Even I've landed a couple of contracts with Walmart within the last several years. I got my first big contract with Walmart in 2016. It helped to sustain me over the years, and it worked out very, very well. I've done things with L'Oreal and Delta Airlines and Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola has been one of my supporters because I used to model for Coke for many years, and it's so having those connections and being able to continue to connect with those corporate connections is always good, and especially in terms of business owners connecting with contracts with the corporate world.
Right, and if you're not certified, you're not getting kind of a chance to get those accounts a lot of the time.
Absolutely. So it's important that you have those certifications. A lot of people don't want to go through it's paperwork, and it's a small fee, but it's important. You get what you put into it. It's important that you go to the networking events. It's important that you keep those certifications going, because it makes me and it makes the other business owners that are certified stand out from the rest.
Right.
I didn't just open a business and get a business license. I went through the process of getting certifications and making myself stand up and above other agencies that may be doing the same thing that I'm doing.
Right. This isn't something where you just pay money and you join and expect things to happen. You got to get involved. You volunteer and take leadership positions and network and put yourself out there, right?
Yeah, you do. You do. And those people that are working and volunteering and giving their time, you just like with anything, how can you get if your hand is closed? So you have to put yourself out there and let people know who you are, and always with a positive attitude. Because if you're meeting with people, you're telling them what a bad time you're doing in business, then negative bring negative. You got to stay positive, and you always got to, regardless of how bad things are going, you always got to keep that positive energy going to people that you meet as you do those networking events and tell people about your business.
Right. And I would imagine in your business, that's really important to keep all your folks that are kind of relying on you to get them work, to keep them pumped up and positive.
It is. And I think a lot of talent stay with me for that very reason, because I tell them to keep it moving. Don't give up.
Now,
and so that helps keep them motivated. And I always give them opportunities that come to me when somebody needs some photographs and they don't have money to pay for their photographs. Like we recently had a connection with a photographer, one of the head photographers at Disney, and we were able to do a wonderful photo shoot. It's absolutely beautiful. It's on our website too. He and Mike Moreland did some photographs of the talent, and it's a great thing to have in their portfolio and in their profile. It brings more work to them.
Now, can you share a story maybe of one of your clients that you were able to help them maybe either get started or maybe took their career to another level?
Yes. There's one particular one that she came to me when she was 14 years old, and she had never done any modeling. Her mom had gone to a lot of the bigger agencies, and they all turned her down. And so she sent me some photographs, and she was standing out in the grass with kind of red curly hair. And I said, "That's the cutest little girl I've seen in a while." And I lost her in my email. You get so many emails. I lost her, and about 2 months later, her mother sent me the picture again. I said, "Okay, there she is." So I picked up the phone and I called her, and her mom registered her in about 3 or 4 of my modeling boot camps. And she was so nervous when she got on the runway. Her little legs was just trembling. And I sent her on her first job with Macy's on the runway. From there, she connected with someone that taught her photo posing. She got fabulous photographs. My connections with Macy's, they loved her. She had great personality too. She had a mom, both were just good people. And from that, she did some things with me. Because I am certified with both the Georgia Minority Supply Development Council and WeBank, we're one of the agencies that have supplied the trophy models for all the awards. So we did the Lace Awards, the Diamond Awards, and the Spirit of Alliance Awards with GMSDC. And so Erica was the model. I booked her for every one of those awards, and she built her self-confidence up so much that she was really started to excel in her career. By the time she was 17, she landed a contract in Milan for runway and worked for the entire summer. So that's my success story. Her mom sent me an email and said, "Rose, if it wasn't for you, she said Erica wouldn't be where she is today because no one saw it in her until she came to me. And I told her, and I gave her instructions on photography sessions. I gave her instructions on the modeling industry and her comp card, and then the runway instruction. And she went to another agency at 17 that had contracts in Milan. At the time, I didn't have overseas contracts. I do now. So she went, and I wished her well. And by that summer, she was on her way with the contract.
Wow, that must be so rewarding to see all of that pay off for the hard work that was done by everybody in order to have her be the success she is.
Yeah, it was, because one of my designers, Mr. Edward Johnson, he passed away the first of the year. He allowed her to use some of his fabulous gowns. He had fabulous gowns of the ones that we used at the awards to do her photo shoots. And so it all played in together for her success.
Right. It's rarely a person is a success all by themselves. It's usually a whole bunch of people behind the scenes that are helping make that person a success.
Yeah. And my daughter and my son both work in the agency. When I started this business, I wanted to leave a legacy for my children. And so my daughter, Naja, and my son, Aldrich, she's a professional makeup artist, and he's a professional photographer. So I had them trained both in the industry to work in the business.
What a gift that is for them.
Yeah. We got a lot of exciting stories and memories over the years of things that have happened with the business.
Well, what do you need more of? How can we help you? Do you need more talent? Do you need more opportunities to work with, film companies or magazines?
Well, I need both. I need both. I need better talent. My goal is to become a union franchise agency. That opportunity would open more doors for better talent. I can get talent now, but with the film project, Georgia is a right-to-work state, so I do get SAG projects, and I've worked it over the years. But to get star-name actors, I need to have that union franchise agency symbol under my portfolio.
So you're working on that, huh?
I'm working on it now. I'm almost finished. Things are a little slow because of COVID, because people are short-staffed. But that's my next step.
Well, congratulations on all your success. You're making a real impact, and people need to know more about what you're up to.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm excited to do it. I mean, it's a fun business to be in. But you have to have a passion for it. Right, absolutely. You really need to have a passion for it.
And if somebody wanted to learn more about what you're up to, or submit, or to get a hold of you, what's the website?
It's www.UMMIAgency.com.
Well, Rose, thank you again for sharing your story.
You're so welcome. I'm so happy to have been able to share my story with you, and I hope that others that see the success that I've done and working with GWBC, that it will bring other women-owned businesses to GWBC for certifications.
Yeah, more women-owned businesses should be taking advantage of GWBC. It's an important association, and it helps a lot of folks.
It really does, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
All right, this is Lee Cantor. We will see you all next time on GWBC Open for Business.